name is Suzanne from DiscoverChange, and we are here today with Pam Shergill. Hi, Pam.
Hi, Suzanne.
How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. Really excited to have you here today in Leading Conversations, where you'll be sharing a little bit about your background, what you do actually in business, Pam, as well, and also really what have been your big learning curves when you've been building your business. And really what we want to do as well in particularly is share lots of encouraging tips and ideas for others who are really pursuing that ambitious path, because we all know that it's not necessarily the easiest journey to choose to take in life. But Pam,
Absolutely.
you have been such an amazing inspiration for so many people. We've collaborated on a couple of things and we continue to do so, and it's really exciting to see where you're going and heading. And I just love the inspiration and education you give to people. So what Pam does, she provides so many different types of support to help people really improve their businesses, start and grow their online businesses, develop their brand. So I just can't wait to hear what Pam is going to share with us today. And please make sure that you've got some kind of notepad with you as well on the side so that you can add any actions or particular points of inspiration, because Pam is someone to certainly look up to. So thank you, Pam, for joining us today. It's really a pleasure to have you here. So first of all, Pam, just do you just want to tell me, just get started with, what do you actually do? So what's your background and what do you do?
Well, first of all, thank you for that wonderful and glowing introduction. So I'm Pam Shergill. I'm the founder of Empower Me Coaching. I'm a mindset and business coach and a digital course creator. And for the last 20 years, I've been in corporate coaching, development and change management. And I use this expertise to help leaders to grow their online business. I'm also a mentor for female entrepreneurs in developing and emerging markets through the Shergill Foundation. And I'm a volunteer coach in secondary schools, coaching students on confidence, communication, resilience, and self-awareness. That's a little bit about me.
How do you have the time to do all of that? That sounds amazing. And I mean, so many different types of coaching and development. Why are you doing those things? What makes you passionate about that, helping people?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So I started my business as a result of wanting to help women feel empowered to live a life that they wanted, not what their family or others want from them. So having grown up in a culture where there are so many restrictions placed on women, I felt like I'd been suppressed for having an opinion and doing what I really wanted. And like many other Indian girls, I didn't know how to use my voice. And that suppression, unfortunately, continued for me as an adult as well. And it wasn't until I really hit 40 years old that I realised I was having an identity crisis. And at that point, I wrote a bucket list of everything that I wanted to do. And I realised that I didn't actually need permission. So I started going out and achieving all of the dreams that I had on my bucket list. And I realised that having it all was possible. And the reason I really set up my coaching business was because I wanted to help and empower other women to find their voice and live the life that they deserved. And initially I started off as a divorce coach because I'd been through two divorces myself, and I'd been through a period of that kind of suppression. And I wanted to help other women to overcome that trauma of divorce. And then I guess over the last few years, I've really developed that business and used my corporate coaching background of 20 years to start helping new businesses to set up a new business and to help businesses to grow online.
That's amazing. So really what you've done is maybe using some of the difficulties from your past to give other people now opportunity to develop maybe quicker than what you were given an opportunity. Sometimes even that's a big reason for people to start a business, is give the support that they maybe didn't have or could have needed at certain points in their lives. So it's so inspiring. I've seen you talk as well, and how you openly talk about the challenges and difficulties having gone through 2 divorces. And I think that background, how you described just your background and having certain limitations and restrictions, that is probably really tough. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who feel that way, that they have a lot of restrictions that maybe don't allow them to move forward with their dreams, pursuing their path, even writing that bucket list and saying that, I can do this business. So what made the difference for you? So, because, you said that until you were 40, you never thought that you would do that kind of thing. But now here you are. So you did that. What made the difference? What gave you that belief and kind of encouraged to go for it and do it?
I think for me, I did a little bit of self-empowerment. So I spent about 2 years in, really heavy personal development. I traveled, I did meditation, I read so many self-help books, and I started to surround myself with positive people who didn't have limiting beliefs. And I guess it really helped me to realize how many limiting beliefs I was holding on to from childhood that were no longer serving me. So, one of the things I always recommend to people is to develop and to spend time and money on your own personal development. Go out there and discover what are the things that you're really passionate about. What are the things that you want to make a difference, with your life, and what imprint do you want to leave, and what legacy do you want to leave at the end of your life? I mean, it sounds a bit morbid, but I always say, look back and say, did you live? Did you matter? And did what you do make a difference? So I guess for me, that was the thing that I really wanted to leave that legacy behind. And it's why I've done a lot of work in charity as well, and helping other organisations, because I want people to say, Pam really helped me and she really made a difference.
That's so inspiring, and I always see what you're doing online, and the charity work and coaching children, and then you're mentoring women to start their businesses and mentoring range of groups, and you're delivering sessions for us as well at DiscoverChange. It's because you're such a great trainer and facilitator, but you're that role model because you've gone through those challenges. So sometimes I think, and maybe you have seen that too in some business owners and leaders, they say, I've got so many ideas and I just want to go for it, but admitting that there are those personal challenges is a really tough one. Me as well, sometimes, I'm always like, yeah, I'm just going to go for it and work hard and do it. But actually, you meet those limitations and bang your head against the wall. So what you did is, you just to kind of summarize that, you really invested in your personal development, in your mindset. And how do you think that's changed in terms of the mindset? Do you look at yourself differently now? And how did that happen?
Yeah, 100%. I think, until you fall down, you pick yourself up, and it's it is really hard work setting up and growing your business. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But I think until I invested in a business coach, it wasn't until that point that I realized what my capabilities and strengths were. So everyone needs a coach, everyone needs someone to mentor them through those challenges and through those difficult times. So I think, you need to have, I guess the word resilience, in terms of, being able to deal with those challenges and to learn from all the mistakes that you've made. Because if I hadn't been through all of the failures that I've been through, I probably wouldn't be where I am today, and I wouldn't be able to teach people what I'm teaching today. So all of my courses, all of my coaching is based on my own personal experience, my own failures, my own highs. And I think when you've been through that pain journey, it helps you to then emotionally connect with your clients and with your audience. And I think that's what helps you to build a better brand and to create more value for your clients ultimately.
Absolutely. I love what you're saying. And that's really the thing, is learning from mistakes. And that's a really big learning curve for people, because sometimes it's very disheartening not getting the results you want in business, and it can be a bit slow. And sometimes that is really such a key thing, is to really make sure that you spend time with the right people, feed your mind with the right things. I mean, you're, for example, part of our online mastermind, which is all about, being evolving leaders, wanting to invest in yourself and your development. Do you think joining meetings and, obviously connecting with like-minded people, where do you see the importance in that in business?
Well, none of us are wired for entrepreneurship unless you've grown up in a family, surrounded by entrepreneurs or business owners. So you need to surround yourself with people that you can learn from. And, we don't learn these things in school. You don't learn social media marketing, and a lot of this is new and it's always changing and evolving. So by surrounding yourself with other leaders, you're looking at, you can look at new ways of how you approach your business, how you tackle challenges and issues that you have within your business. You can learn new skills, just a completely different mindset, helping you to look at your business and say, oh, you know, did you think about doing A, B or C? And sometimes it is the real simple things that you just need another opinion on, or another focus on. So for me, mastermind, you know, every fortnight has been a game changer as well. You know, I've learned so much from the DiscoverChange mastermind, and that's really helping me to grow and evolve my business continually.
Thank you. That's great to hear. And you've been a key part in also delivering some of your training, and will continue to do so. We're really excited. And that's the thing, is connecting with like-minded people, because as entrepreneurs, like you said as well, we haven't necessarily been taught, unless you grew up in a family like that, to think in a certain way, to think about your own potential, or leverage your own potential and those of the resources around you. So what you do now is you really help people to leverage online technologies and online systems, kind of couple of digital strategies that really can make all the difference. So I think sometimes as entrepreneurs, it feels like a really overwhelming big mountain to climb, where to start. But actually what you do is give a strategy to use for example, branding and marketing online. So could you tell a little bit about that? You know, what kinds of strategies could people use? So a couple of tips for someone starting in business, developing their brand. I know you've seen some, I've seen some great resources that you've created as well. So please feel free to mention any of those as well, so that people could benefit from that development.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, there's so many tips and tools. I've never considered myself to be a technical person until I started to develop my own website, my landing pages, and started designing and creating content. So I think for me, one of the top tips is to really be putting in place systems. And we underestimate the power of having systems in place. So when I talk about systems, I'm referring to a website or landing pages, email marketing systems, and having an automation in place. So for me, having the basics and the fundamentals of that automation helps you to scale and grow your business further down the line. When you start off in business, you know, you're the sales and marketing exec, you're the CEO, you're the project manager, you're the admin person. And, you know, unless you've got a load of money at hand at the start of business, you're going to have to learn to do all these things yourself. And I'm not saying that to put you off. It's just actually, it's a really good grounding experience to put in place those systems. So as you scale, it's a lot easier.
And it's easier to delegate as well, isn't it? When you know what you're delegating, you can give that to someone.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and it's about putting in place processes that sit behind those systems. So if you're using those processes, then as you grow and have a team, it's important to train those people on those processes and systems as well. Absolutely. I think the second thing then is really getting clear on your target market. Now, a lot of people used to always say to me at the start, and I've been on so many training courses, and people say, you know, define your niche, understand who your ideal client is, but not many people actually teach you how to do that. And I think, you know, you can easily underestimate how important it is. So when I say understand your ideal client is, understand, you know, what the demographics are, you know, where they live, what their age is, what their gender is, what their pain points are and their biggest frustrations. Because if you know that, then you'll know how to really sell your product or service that will solve that frustration. And as I mentioned earlier, it's about emotionally connecting with your client, and you can easily then design content that talks to their pain points, whether that's social media posts, courses or blogs. And then my third tip is around, I guess, your email list. So whether or not you're on social media, email is around 40 times more effective at acquiring new customers than Facebook or Twitter. And 66% of customers will make a purchase as a result of an email. So you don't have to have a massive list of people. What you want is a small but engaged audience. And getting into your audience's email box is not a privilege, and you don't have the right to constantly bombard them and try and sell them stuff. The idea is to provide service to provide value. And, you know, that might not make you money at the start. And, you know, there's lots of insights out there that say, you know, you won't make money on your business for the first 12 to 24 months. And I think that's, you know, fair to say, unless you're fairly lucky. So I think have that expectation that, you know, you won't be making money straight away. You have got to, you're not a big brand when you start off as a small business. So, you know, you have to make your name, you have to build that likability and trust factor before you can even start thinking about selling. So if you've got those processes in place where you've got automated email sequences, for example, you can start sending off a load of emails to people, giving that value, and eventually when they've got to know, like and trust you, you can then start promoting your services and selling to them. So I think there would be my top 3 tips.
I love that. I love that. And know, like and trust, giving value, being of service. I love the fact that, you know, you're saying also not making these grand promises, because I think nowadays we're living in a world with huge opportunities. People are starting businesses quicker than ever before, but they're also closing them just as quickly sometimes, you know, at the same rate. It's not easy. And actually, if you have a very short-lived vision, you know, I'm just in here for a couple of years or a few months and get a few bucks, it doesn't quite work like that. It can, but it's very unlikely. Yeah. And really, if someone wants to build that big business, big brand, and earn those, you know, the common kind of goal might be like a 10K a month. That means really to implement those processes, put those systems in place to be able to meet the demand. And you know, what you just said there is how you actually interacting with them through, for example, emails, which has high conversion rate. That's really valuable tips. So thank you so much for those.
Just to add to Suzanne as well, you know, you talked about the resources that I've got. I think this is the reason why I've created the resources I have. So there's lots of free things that I offer. The first one is a 10 steps to create your business brand. Again, I couldn't find anything out there that would, you know, talk me through what the steps are to create your brand. I've got a 30 strategies to grow your email list, and then I've got 6 key steps to also offer a free mini course as well on how to start your online service-based business. And that, you know, that's got 3 videos, it's got a 20+ page workbook and 6 lessons, all for free, that take you through those key steps to help you really get clear on what your why is, identifying your mission and values, and getting clear on your finances as well. So, you know, I think for anyone who wants to start an online business, it's not impossible, but you challenges of setting up that business. And that's why I created all of the resources that I did, so that you don't have to go through 2 years of meditation and traveling to find yourself and read, you know, 100 books to get to where I got to. It's hopefully outlined in, you know, just a handful of resources that you can get through in a matter of weeks.
So that's amazing. Thank you, Pam, so much for providing those resources. We'll add all of those links underneath as well, just to make sure that people can really benefit from those resources. That's so generous. And it's great to see that you've built all of these resources, because, you know exactly what people are going through. There's a lot of struggle with, you know, who am I? What do I stand for? What am I going to do? And some people try and use everything and anything and go across all the social media platforms. Whereas actually, especially something that, you know, you've done really well is particularly using a couple of platforms, really nailing those rather than trying to take over the world. And it's great to see, you know, you've built your online courses. So it's, again, another fantastic, you know, area support that you can provide for your customers, and that you are helping other people to build their online courses, their kind of legacy products even. And you mentioned about that earlier. And some people say, oh, legacy, it's a big word, it's a bit cheesy. I absolutely don't think so. And, you know, that's how me and you connected, because we're both maybe consider ourselves a bit of like change makers, you know, wanted to help people create positive change in their lives. And, you know, in order to achieve that, we can't just help everyone on a one-to-one basis. And it's amazing that now you have these resources that are accessible for everyone, even for free. So thank you so much for providing those. I'm sure they will provide lots of fantastic guidance for everyone who needs it. So what else? So you also provide mentoring, don't you? So what type of mentoring programs? You've got a business boot camp as well. So could you just give a quick overview of what exciting mentorship programs you've got with regards to business as well?
Yeah, so I mentioned about mentoring women in through the Cherie Blair Foundation, and it kind of made me think about what resources I needed to provide for people who don't necessarily have access to free resources. So I, as well as the free resources, I do a 30-day mentoring boot camp on starting your own business, and another one on growing your online business. So kind of really hand-holding you through starting and growing your online business. That consists of a half-day strategy session, 2 one-to-one coaching sessions, and then some online training videos and workbooks in between. And I always say you can set your business up within 30 days. So, which is why I have a 30-day business bootcamp challenge. I've also got a number of other challenges, such as 7 days to nail your niche. I've got a 14-day. Oh gosh, I've forgotten what it's called.
You've got so many now. I can imagine. I'm so inspired by seeing everything that you've got online. I'm thinking, wow, I love the boot camp, and the feedback so far has been tremendous. So it's really exciting to see how many people are benefiting from that. And I noticed that because one of the key things, we talked about creating a legacy. You said about wanting to create a printable business. Yeah. You wasn't sure, should I do, and where does that all sit in? But you have this huge amount of resources. So why I want to mention that is because sometimes you, Pam, you're such a high achiever, you just keep going and reaching new heights. Whereas actually, where your core strength, if you don't mind me saying, I'm sure many viewers will find it interesting and beneficial, is that you are really that content creator, aren't you? And that project management background, really shines through how you're highly organized, you know exactly how to achieve, break down goals and achieve those. And even though some people, and it doesn't sound maybe the most sexy and exciting, but that is the only way to achieve things in life, is through managing yourself, understanding the outcomes, moving forward, but also that equipped with that empowerment and personal development. That's you absolutely lead by example with that. Having traveled the world, and I love what you said, don't have to travel the world to see who you are, discover who you are. It's interesting because I have the same feeling. Sometimes we go here, there, and everywhere just to realize that actually everything I need is right here. It's you who produces those.
Exactly. Yeah. Everything's within you, and I think we're not trained for that. We're not taught that at school, and we always think that we've got to go somewhere to get something. But everything is usually inside you. It's just. And that's why having a business coach, it's why I worked with yourself, because I knew things were in me, but I just didn't know how to extract them and to use them. And I knew that I could utilize my past experience, but I didn't know how to. So we all need a little bit of hand holding to get to the end goal, for sure.
You're absolutely right. And I have also had lots of mentors and people who support and challenge, because some people don't like to be challenged. But actually, that's the key thing, is if we always do things the same way in life, we always get the same results. And what we did together as well, and when we worked together, it was a fantastic experience also for us, because we knew, like, you are such an incredible leader already, and you had a huge amount of resources, and the potential is there. All that it kind of needed, and where you've massively now accelerated and helping other people to do that, is discover kind of that identity, restructure it in such a way that it feels comfortable and good to promote. Because so many people feel bad about putting stuff online and saying, oh, it's not me, and oh, what is everybody else going to think? Whereas actually you overcame that, and you've built this great traction because you aligned with what you're here for, what your purpose is in business. And that's what exactly so many other people, they have this huge energy and drive and what they can do, but it is within them, isn't it? It's learning how to use that.
Yeah, and there's so much to a business. You go through, and I've gone through this, even though I've got that 20 years of experience in coaching and development, I used to have, and I still do, develop imposter syndrome, because you're trying to put something out there that you've never done before, and you suddenly start to think, well, what if it doesn't stick? What if no one buys? And initially, you don't get the sales, and it's really, really disheartening when you spend weeks and months developing a website, creating some amazing content. And that's happened to me. I am a creator. I love creating workbooks, and I set up my printable business. I went online and I didn't make a sale in the first week or so, and I was so upset. And then I started to develop imposter syndrome, and I rang you up and I was like, oh my god, this means I'm rubbish and I'm failing, and I've got to shut my business down. And you have all these crazy thoughts, and then suddenly the sales come in, and I had my biggest sale month in the midst of COVID. And for me, that was like, wow, if I can sell in COVID, I can sell anytime. And it's a real motivator. And that's just the start. As an entrepreneur, you will go through all of those highs and lows, and you've got to be prepared for them. You've got to be, and which is why I guess do a lot of meditation, because it really helps to calm you down. It helps you to realise that life is a journey, and you'll learn as you go along, and you can't let the little things get you down, because that, like you said earlier, how are you going to deal with the big issues?
Wow, I just it's so inspiring what you're saying, and absolutely, and I just want to really thank you for taking this time to be with us today, and it's been so beneficial. You just mentioning there at the end as well, that self-care, because we both know, and I'm certainly sometimes being guilty of that now, and certainly learning. So we're all learning and growing all the time and constantly tweaking. But it's that, less is more. I've been very no, do loads, but actually sometimes doing more is actually more harmful than doing nothing. Taking a step back, self-care, meditation, doing things with quality rather than stress and lots and lots and lots. And I think it's just so fantastic to hear that you've used a challenging situation such as a global pandemic to actually turn things around, and providing online resources, hope, skills, knowledge for people. That's what you're helping now for businesses to do, is to provide those services online, create information products, be confident with blogging, with videos. I mean, the journey you've traveled with videos and public speaking in the last few months is huge. And when we started, you said, I'm not going to be a speaker. It wasn't really what I was thinking, but I could see this amazing content, and now you started to create. You're writing your first book as well. It's just you're such an inspiration, and I think whoever wants to start a business, start an online business, start creating content, giving service and giving value to people, they should definitely join your courses and take example of you, Pam. So have you got any final things to say, kind of any last tip or anything else to kind of finish off and give maybe someone a bit of hope and inspiration for the next step on their journey?
Yeah, I think that for any entrepreneur, as I mentioned about the highs and lows, it's easy to focus on the lows. It's easy to focus on, oh, I haven't done this, I haven't got the sale, I haven't got the, so many people on an email list, I haven't got the engagement on social media. And that's what creates the imposter syndrome. For me, I would say what I do is around the mindset. So other than meditation, is writing a gratitude journal. And every month is writing down all the things that you've achieved. And I think I started doing that, particularly over the last 6 months. When I look back and think how much I've achieved, I might not have got the sales I wanted, I might not have the email list I wanted, but boy, I have created so much content, I've added so much value, I've had so much positive praise from people, even just sharing my story in keynote events and having someone to say, oh, you were inspiring. Those kind of feelings you can't buy, it is really priceless. So when you know that you've made a difference, don't forget to write that down in your journal, that you've helped someone. And even if you've only helped one person along your way in that event or in your course, you've made a difference and you've mattered to somebody. So I think just focus on your achievements, not just financially, but emotionally and in terms of what you've created as well.
I love that. That's just the perfect way to finish. Not to focus on the lack, but the abundance and everything that you've created. Some people really forget all the amazing things that they've achieved because there's always more. there's always more, but actually by being grateful for what you now have, what you've achieved, and what difference you've created, because big financial results especially come as a result of serving lots of people.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you're doing. It doesn't, you're serving people not just online and selling courses and promoting and helping people in so many amazing ways, but also in terms of helping children, young children, to develop confidence so that they get the right tools from young age. So your big vision and your big picture is so inspiring, and it's just great to see where you've come to so quick as well. And that's exactly what you help people to do with your courses. It is to fast track, because it doesn't have to be slow and hard. Some of it is always going to be hard, of course, but if there's no challenge, there's no change, right? So, gotta go for it. And it can be a lonely journey, but it's totally worth it, and connecting with like-minded people, like we talked about earlier, is such a key thing, rather than thinking that, oh, it's something wrong with me, or, I'm not good at this. Actually, so many people have similar problems that can be actually solved quite quickly. So
yeah, and you can always get free help out there as well. So I think that you've hit the nail on the head. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, we could go on for hours, which we do in some of our workshops. Actually, we have several 1 to 3 day workshops as well. Many different options to help people to really accelerate the creation of their brand, of their courses, of their social media engagement. Because once the right strategy in place, literally so many things can happen actually quickly. And I'm not making empty promises. I don't want to make empty promises in that way. But actually, when you align with your purpose, you put the right content out, the right people and customers just come. They just come to you rather than you having to chase everyone else. And that's exactly, what the right branding and marketing strategy can do. And I really look forward to seeing you again soon, Pam, also delivering your amazing training sessions on creating branding and marketing strategies, implementing, get those email lists growing. We're going to add all of those links also on here so that everyone can benefit from those resources. So thanks so much, Pam. And I'm sure we will again need to have a catch up, because we've got lots more to talk about.
We have indeed.
Thanks. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.